I think. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. That wasn't like a cue to suck all the atmosphere out of the room. Fun, laughing. Yeah, it was good. Okay, I'm ready to start.
Not fun anymore.
Not fun anymore. Oh my God. Okay, so may the gods of packet loss will serve us good today. Switch to Okay, so
Do we need to make a sacrifice to the gods of packet loss? What do we sacrifice for that?
packets.
Packets? I don't have any packets to sacrifice.
You have to do it during the week, the 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
Packet code.
we spent the last session. Oh wait a minute, I'll do this. We spent the last session basically playing a group of sellswords, adventurers who were hired by the Harpers to release undead minions who were under the control of a dark elf sorceress, which in actuality was your own characters just after the TPK. So you've basically spent a month under the control of Shazra, and you were freed and resurrected by this group of adventurers. And now that the dark elf is dead, you have been reunited with Harshnag. Now, Harshnag wasn't idle throughout the time you have been with Shazra. If you remember, the Frost Giants attacked Breen Shander not a long time ago, and they have kidnapped a priest living there. According to what you know, the Frost Giants are searching for the Ring of Winter, and this priest might have the answer to its location. And you also know that, like decades ago, when we started the adventure, Jolly Fizzlebang told you that his adopted son is living in Breen Shander, and he's actually actually I'm not sure how much I tell you. What did I tell you about him? About
You know about what I have is about Artis Sim.
Oh, right. Amazing. Okay, so I did tell you that. So yes, this priest is obviously Jolly's adopted son. He is the real son of a mighty adventurer named Artis Simber, who is the last owner of the Ring of Winter, and probably the Frost Giants tried to get to Artis via his son. Harshnag followed the Frost Giant kidnappers and learned that they intend to take the priest to a place called Helm's Hold, where his secrets can be extracted from him. Okay? So, of course, Harshnag wanted to set sail to Helm's Hold. Unfortunately, due to all of the issues with the giants, Harshnag can't travel the Sword Coast without risk of being attacked, kidnapped. It happened to him, so he doesn't want to repeat that. So he had hopes that you will be able and willing to travel to Helm's Hold and see to it that the Frost Giants don't extract any secrets from anyone. You are now at Breen Shander, enjoying some drinks at a place called Kelvin's Comfort. It's a tavern. It's next to the market square, so it's quite loud. It is run by this old dwarf, supposedly a war hero, but you don't see it on his huge belly or massive arms and neck, but these are not from muscles. He's simply very fat. So you are enjoying breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever you want it to be, and you have time to discuss your plans, what you want to do. But Harshnag did tell you that he was hoping you would make the trip to Helmshold. And action.
One question about what you just said. The person who was kidnapped, was it was his name like Mateo? Is this Mateos? Or I mean,
The priest that was kidnapped?
yeah.
Son?
I mean, Artisimber, it was what? These are the notes that I have. Maybe I just got things confused. So Artisimber, his son was being guarded, right, by Jolly Brinchander's
Yep.
friend.
Let me tell you exactly what was the priest's name.
Okay.
The priest's name was Sirac, and
Sirac.
he was a fisherman. And according to rumor, he discovered the divine power in him and decided to be a priest. He was an acolyte, operating or maintaining a small shrine in Breen Shander. And when the giants attacked, they searched for him specifically.
Okay.
And you know that. Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
So
One question also. Being dead for a month, did that affect anything about my soul loss?
So, so the curse that you have all been
The curse is gone.
is gone.
Yes.
Your soul is still gone because it is not. Yeah.
Yeah. I assumed as much. It's just if it had a more of effect on my body since
Exactly.
since there are now only 610 days left, or
Yes.
however long it's been.
Yeah. But you do find it interesting to that you have been able to be resurrected, even without any education or religious training. You know that this is a very strange situation. The soul decides if it wants to go back or not.
And I do have a lot of religious training since I grew up in the temple.
Okay, so you do know that it is very awkward, strange.
Yes.
So essentially, his body's just been animated at this point. Amazing.
Looking at you, Andres.
Awfully familiar. Yeah, I feel like coming after being dead for that long and then coming out a level up. Andrus' black hair with gray streaks is now white hair with black. Body continues to change.
And do I still have my soulless companion?
Yes.
That I can talk to?
Yes.
Oh, good. I've been doing my best to ignore that. That's the last thing I said to it. Oh, good. Yeah, you can't die here, so hold him off and I'll run away.
All right. So we need to go where to get this
Helmshold.
priest?
A place called Helmshold.
Helmshold. And how far away is it?
It's quite far.
Yeah, it's south of Neverwinter.
Do we remember
Southeast of
all
Neverwinter.
Do we remember all the horrible stuff we were made to do?
Yes, you did. You kind of suppress it, but Shazra was very inventive, and she enjoyed your services in many ways.
Disturbing.
In which towns were we used? Just so we know where not to go.
So, you were used in probably all of 10 towns. So most of your missions were either assassination or training in assassination. But your real first mission was to actually help in kidnapping Sirac. So as the giants kind of besieged Bryn Shander, you were the operatives that surgically took Sirach and handed him to the giants.
Yeah, but we were clearly monstrous undead monsters, so
Yes.
we look nothing like that.
Except Anderest, who might be, he's dead. The same. So.
You couldn't
Looks-
tell. You couldn't tell.
Okay.
By the way, it's interesting to what happened here is pretty interesting, right? Because Shazar was like his Zentarum agent, right? And she was cooperating with the clone giants. Which I'm not sure when we started. We met this guy with his melted face. Was also, I believe, was
Zentarum.
also a Zentarum agent, right?
Yes.
And we met the two Zentarum on the islands.
And yeah, but they didn't cooperate with the giant, so.
They worked
Well,
against
they
them.
were working with them.
Hmm?
Yeah,
they
then
were
they worked
working-
against them.
Yeah.
But they were working with them just to get Harshnag, right?
Yeah. What about what
I
about
feel
the
like
guys
they're
that-
cooperating with the giants just as a means to an end.
Okay.
Or using the giants
Just
for
so
their own ends.
yeah,
Hmm.
to sow discord and chaos while they recover the Ring of Winter would be my guess.
Well, but Galen's feeling fine. He's not at all troubled by what happened. Like, that's, it's just another thing I did while losing my soul. It's fine. So, another round of beers while we make plans?
Sure.
That's right.
Yes.
It wasn't us. It was
The door opens and a group of dwarves enter. They all have black beards, and they are covered with furs, and their beards have, icy remains of the wind outside and the moisture that has frozen on their faces. They look very grim. They climb the stools on the bar, signal the innkeeper, who is a dwarf himself, although he is a gold dwarf, almost blonde and blue eyes, and they immediately join their heads, including the innkeeper, and start talking in very, very low voices. They are armed to the teeth.
Can I try to eavesdrop?
Yes. Roll something.
And do the dwarves look
Perception?
familiar? Like, is there any, like, insignia or anything, or uniform they're wearing?
So make a history check.
Okay.
Check. I probably heard nothing.
17.
What?
17 for history.
17 for history, and you, Quirion?
I got a 10 listening in, but if it helps, I know Dwarven. I just don't know how much I heard.
A 10. Okay. Okay. You, Galen, you believe these are dwarves belonging to the mighty city or nation called Old Delzoun. Up till now, it was considered a lost place, and you know that many dwarves have been seeking it, coming to Neverwinter to try and excavate some of its ruins and find the tunnels that lead to this monumental city, underground city. Most of those efforts failed, but some are still bearing the symbols of that lost nations, even though they are still looking for its inner chambers. You believe that these dwarves come from there. It's a location somewhere in the vicinity of Neverwinter.
Which is where we need to be.
And
Close by, yes.
it's not exactly the. If you have the map on Roll20, I'll kind of ping you. I'll sign in and ping you there. You. Aquarian, you try to eavesdrop. They do speak a dwarvish. You don't hear much except that something about fire giants.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around. Is there anyone here that either looks like a spellcaster or a wealthy merchant or a wealthy priest?
So you do see a couple of merchants there. Up till I mean, after the attack on Brinchander, there has been a lot of efforts to rebuild. So many merchants from Luskan have traveled up north to, sign contracts and provide the city or the town with enough resources. So yeah, several of those there. If you look at the map, so Helm's Hold is right here.
We are
You are in Brinchander, exactly.
Chander up there.
Yeah, and Dalzoon is somewhere, should be somewhere around this place. Okay?
Get to Neverwinter easily
Yeah, Neverwinter is there, here.
closer. Make my way over to clear-looking merchants.
Okay?
Over leaning heavily on my cane. Very politely, if I could, for just 1 minute, I just have a quick question for you, sir.
He looks you up and down and says, "What can I help you with?"
Not from around here. I'm just curious. Is there a teleportation circle anywhere that can take us south?
He looks at you and kind of elbows his friends. "A teleportation circle, of course. We have many of those here." And he points to the dock and says, "Over there are wooden teleportation circles. You sit on top of them, you pay several gold, you wait 3 weeks, and you get exactly where you want to be. Amazing."
Yeah.
Shake my head. Oh, so from here?
What?
Are you from here?
"Oh, no, not from this hellhole. I come from Luskan, the city of sails."
Thieves, right? See, I'm speaking to the wrong person, and I'll walk away.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna walk up to the dwarves. I'm gonna like take my drink and sit at a seat next to them and have maybe like one seat apart from us.
Okay.
And I start looking, trying to make eye contact with one of them. Once I do, I give him like a big smile and say like in awe, "You know, I've always heard the stories about old Dalzoon. I never imagined in my life that I would meet someone who bears their signs, their insignias. Would you mind if I buy you a drink?"
And when so up till that sentence they were kind of turning their backs on you, but when you said drinks, they kind of like all 8 of them turn around and look directly at you. "A drink, of course, yes."
Excellent.
they
So
they wave at the innkeeper.
And I show him like my pouch. Okay, so I pay for the drinks and I start to talk to them, small talk, tells them a bit about myself, about the things that we've gone through, and I try to angle the conversation towards the giants that we've been seeing recently, and see if and I'm trying to understand from their response to the word to my talks about giants, to see if I can get a response from them.
Okay. You kind of engage in conversation with them. At one point, one of the dwarfs, his name is Glint. He's wearing 3 fingers on those 3 rings. Sorry, on those fingers, and these 2 are missing. He used the diamond on one of those rings to pick his teeth, as he says, "Well, we had an issue with a colony we erected on Dead Snow. It's a mine, a most beautiful mine, littered with gold and diamonds and magnificent veins of silver. And at one point, it was attacked by fire giants. They came, they chained all the dwarves and hauled them to an enormous digging site."
Did they make them dig something?
"Yes, they are obsessed with digging some metallic remains out of the earth. They create humongous craters and pulleys and engineer all kinds of devices to pull something heavy from the earth. And I've heard that it's not the only place they've done this, and they only take dwarves because we dig the best. Which in this case is unfortunate. Not to our luck, but anyway, we wanted to update Ogden here, and he points at the innkeeper who looks really worried because we know that he has family there.
Oh gosh. Have you tried seeking help from other people, other races, other cities?
He looks at you and says, "Didn't you hear what I'm saying? Fire giants here in the north. I can accept frost giants, I can accept storm giants, but fire giants, they hate it. They hate the weather. They won't get in close to this place where you can see the white of an ice. If they have come up north, it's a much bigger issue than calling the watch."
Nobody has any idea what they're looking for, right?
What?
Nobody has any idea what it is that they're looking for.
We didn't stay too long to investigate. We saw the ruins of the mines, followed the tracks, and found the digging site. Other than that, it's just telling our friend and neighbor, and he points to Ogden, the innkeeper, and hopefully his family can arrange a rescue mission or something like that.
Do you have like any idea how many of them are there? How many giants are over there?
We've counted 6.
Okay. That's manageable.
I'm just gonna just ask them if they know a fast way to get to Neverwinter.
Okay.
Oh, you say... okay, sorry.
I'll let the conversation about what they just told me dissipate a bit, and then I'm going to tell them that me and my friends are trying to travel to Neverwinter in the fastest way possible. Ask them if they have an idea how we could get there.
So they kind of discuss among themselves, and then they say, well, we are headed to Neverwinter, and there is this elf who is leading a caravan, empty. He just unloaded a lot of wood and ore and tools for building the city. This is what they tell us. He's headed back to Neverwinter. We have been considering hopping on his wagon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
His name is Vandar. You can talk to him. Yes, he's in the square market. You won't miss him. The most colorful wagon in the market. And he says it like it's a really, really bad thing.
Of course.
I'm actually excited about colorful stuff. Okay. So my friends, it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. And we might just meet on our way to Neverwinter.
They all raise their cups to you.
I raise mine as well.
The merchants are leaving the tavern. One of them the one you have spoken to, Andres, stops at your desk and at your table and says, good sir, I didn't intend to offend you in any way. I do know that the Pralmer's shadow is at the docks, and it is intended to leave to Luskan. If you want, I can talk to the captain and maybe arrange you a discounted seat, if that's something you will be interested at.
How fast is it to sail there?
To
The condition at the sea.
Well, as long as we
Frozen in.
keep keep the shore in eyesight and don't entangle with any frost giant longboat. And there is that small rumor of a monster, but that's rumors. Those Luskan pirates invent those rumors all the time, so they could buff the rages.
Of course. But I have heard like of the sea of moving ice, like would there be ice blocking the passage, so would take longer than actually walking there.
Oh, not if you are very close to the shore. But I agree that walking or riding might be a viable solution. We are usually traveling with luggage, so a boat makes more sense. So he kind of taps on the desk and says, "Well, if you get to Pralma's shadow, and if you talk to the captain there, you can ask him to call Dunnigan. That's me, and I'll put a word for you.
And how soon are you sailing?
Oh, a week or so.
In a week, or it takes a week?
No, we'll be setting sail in a week. Of course, if you want to expedite the schedule, the captain might charge you a little bit more.
Did he say it would take?
So the sailing there, let's see, from from
Alaska.
Luskin is just south of the ice region.
yeah, it's something like
Yeah.
100 mile or 150 miles, so 24 miles in a day. Yeah, it will take time.
Time.
Yeah. And from Luskin to Neverwinter, it's probably easy to find a ship there.
Yeah.
Or travel by foot, or horse, but ship is probably
Be able to find a ship.
Uh,
When you said it'll take time, what do you mean?
let me
2 days?
like 4 or 5 days.
So it's like a 2-week journey. Yep. On the boat.
Less than a week. If it's like 100 miles and he said about 24 miles per hour or per day, then it's just over 4 days.
So it can do 120 miles per day. Oh, wait.
I'm in good
Sounds-
conditions.
Yeah, in perfect condition. So it will be a couple
A
of days.
24-hour shift.
Exactly. So it will take several days to make the trip. So it's from 10 towns to Luskan, which is like the northern. Yeah, and from there you'll have to see.
And from Luskin to Neverwinter, we can probably get another ship that will take like a day or two to get to Neverwinter.
Something like that. Yes.
That does sound faster than walking or riding to Luskin in this condition, all this snow and everything.
Well, we can always go to the market and ask
Yeah.
Dar
Yeah.
how long it's going to take him and when he's going to leave.
Even an empty wagon takes time. And that might not be the only ship going south.
Be able to find one sooner.
Or maybe pay for it and I look in like, oh, about 50 gold. That might not be much.
So
Yeah, I
so
don't have
if
a lot of money.
what?
I wonder what happened with our submarines.
We're still
Down
sitting
water
there.
deep still.
Probably not.
Yeah. And
Yeah, we get that.
We divide, split up while we're in the town and see if any of us can find who can find the fastest way to Neverwinter.
Sure.
and we should have like in the party somewhere a decent bit of coin.
I've got
Someone
100.
who looted poor Jekin's stash, and he had like 200 gold, some gems, some
Oh.
dragon scales.
Oh, by the
Unfortunately, I
way.
mean, I don't know if you passed that over, but I do have 100 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want-
390 gold on him.
So you want to split, and some will go to visit the ship, and some will go talk to the elf.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going where?
I'm going to speak with the elf.
Okay.
I'll go to the docks.
I'll go to the market also and look around to see if there are like other travelers, a merchant that are going south.
Okay.
Yeah, see if you can find anybody who's got a teleportation circle. So there must be one somewhere in 10 towns that can take us south.
Actually, teleportation circle. The spell works so you go to a teleportation circle that is permanent, but you make one from where you are. So you don't need to have a teleportation circle in town if somebody knows the spell.
Okay, who knows the spell?
So and knows the teleportation circle in Neverwinter.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. There must be someone who can teleport us there in 10 towns.
These are
They,
small towns.
yes, but it's also they also need supplies during the harsh winters, right? And there are wizards, so
I'll go with Galen.
lots of wealth passes through this area.
I'll
What were you
ask
saying?
around in the market.
Okay.
Or was that Emiliano?
I'll go with Galen as well for the marketing.
Okay. Peleus, Forgal.
Seems like I'm gonna go check out the boat. Since
Okay.
am I the only one do it?
No, I was going.
Okay. So
We're good pals now, so we can go together.
You're going as well?
Peleus, where do you go?
I'm with Galen and Rock V,
Okay.
Greg V, whatever.
Okay. So
And I assume Forgar goes with Andres just to keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't break
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go hire some bodyguards.
okay.
Be back shortly.
Yeah. And Forgar is next to you, like all the entire time.
Okay.
I'm just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, the guy that we helped kidnap, do we know where his house is?
The guy that you sure you kidnapped him from his house.
Okay. I think if we have some time, we'd like to go over there and investigate a bit.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's a smart idea.
Okay.
But let's do that after we find out how to get to Neverwinter.
We could also just travel south ourselves
Hmm.
and hope we don't get lost.
If we
Okay.
travel,
With the
if we
food
travel, we
drive.
can just follow the caravan, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
A caravan is generally slow, even with empty.
but it also comes with like 8 heavily armed dwarves.
Yeah.
That's handy.
We're badass. We don't need help.
Speak for yourself. I need a meat shield.
So
And that's what I was for. And people are killed at your race.
Quarian, Galen, Peleus, and Rookvi, right? So you are headed to the market. What you basically see is a city or a town in despair. So many of the buildings were devastated during the frost giant attack. Most of the people are huddled either on the street or maybe in some warehouses and large buildings that were converted from storefronts into temporary housing. There is basically an army of workers trying to rebuild whatever damage was done, but you can see that this effort is it's not as professional as it would have been if winter wasn't like 2 weeks from now. So the dead of winter is very close, and people are trying to simply, fill the holes in the roofs and the walls with whatever they can, so they can keep themselves warm. The market is thriving, you might say, because there are a lot of merchants who have traveled here from Luskans, but Andor's descriptions of these merchants and people as thieves is not very far from the truth. Obviously, they're trying to make use of the situation, selling goods in prices that were unacceptable a month ago. So this is also happening in the midst of all those unshaven faces, smelly fishermen, and desperate farmers. You do see this very colorful wagon. It's basically 2 wagons connected into one. 2 white horses are in front of it, eating and drinking from basins and there is this. I would simply describe him as a beautiful elf. He is tall, blonde, blue eyes, an elf from the legends. And every time he laughs, the air kind of gets warmer, and people are simply talking to him and enjoying his company, simply because of his ability to leave a smile on everyone's face. A lot of kids are playing around his wagon, and he is obviously enjoying the attention. On the wagon, on the back of it, there is a very short halfling wearing what I can only describe as a 3-part suit. And he has this large book in hand in which he writes down everything that a huge hulking Goliath is piling into the wagon. So this towering creature, gray skin, black streaks, is hauling crates into the wagon, while this very clean, very neat and tight and bookish halfling writes everything down. You believe that this is Vandar. The elf is probably Vandar Quarian.
I don't go to the elf or the wagon. I go just, like, talk to people and ask around for if there are any like wizards in the area, or they know of any like form of medical travel in this town or nearby.
Okay. In this case, roll something. I don't know what.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
You tell me.
I don't know what I need to roll. Is it like a persuasion to get people to talk, or is it investigation?
Yeah, you know what? Roll.
Acrobatics to
Yeah,
tumble into the right magical area?
Roll. Yeah, I think investigation might be a good thing. Maybe.
16.
Okay. So with a 16, you know that most of Bryn Shander's most promising wizards, if you can call them that, have been part of the attempt to fend off the attack, the Frost Giants attack. Most of them were killed, but you know that one had survived. I'll tell you the name in a minute. But he is, or should I say she, is in a very bad mood. Just a second. Okay. Yes, okay. So, you know that there is one called Lord Zelround Roaringhorn, who is a wizard of some power. He lives in Bryn Shander, and he was one of the people who tried to defend the city from the Frost Giants. He has basically he was crushed under a large boulder that was thrown at him, but survived. You know that he is living in town, and you can, if you want, visit him. He's probably the most powerful wizard to have survived the attack.
I'll go, visit him, but go ahead and take care of the others. Visit them first.
I'm gonna go try to talk to the... What's his name? Prince Charming?
Vandar. So, Galen, do you leave Quarian, Peleus, and Rukvi? And okay, so I need you to make, as you walk, I need you to make a perception check.
Should I go to
Nobody
maybe
going with
heal him?
What?
Maybe I could heal him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
So, in this case, both Galen and Rukvi make perception checks.
I'm ignored by Ruby, walking around and talking the entire time. Like, come on, I just want to get this over it. Get out of this cold. It's a 5.
Get distracted by everything. I have a 13.
Okay. So, you, Galen, are very preoccupied and you don't kind of notice the surrounding. But you, Rukvi, as you pass a group of people who are huddled together, talking about the high prices of fish, someone bumps into you, and you kind of, hey, but then this whoever he was kind of vanish, and you feel something sticky around the place where he bumped into you, and you look at your coat or your armor or your fur coat, and there is a smudge as if someone with a bloody hand touched you on your coat. And there is stuff there. So not only the hand was bloody, it was also decomposing.
I turn to look to see where they go.
So you look around, but you have, with a 13, you don't
You can
see.
sense them.
Yeah, I turn to Galen and I wave him over, and then I'll,
Yeah, come on, we need to hurry. We have to get out here.
and then I have. Dang, I don't have anything. Locate anything.
Divine sense.
Yeah, divine sense, I guess.
Yeah,
Never
fixate on
worked.
that.
Where is it? Nature's Wrath. Divine sense. Here it is.
What does he do? Let me know.
Celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me. I can see him.
Okay, so you focus.
If they're not behind total cover.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you focus, and your bat vision kind of scans the horizon.
Okay.
And you do sense a fiend, but not in the direction of this person who hit you. You can actually see a fiend lying in the elf's wagon.
In the elf's wagon.
Yeah,
which
you-
is being loaded by the Goliath.
The Goliath, right?
Goliath. I just call Galen over. I'm jumping up and down.
No, the wizard, come on.
And then I just like throw my hands up and put my hand on my hammer and start stomping off towards the Goliath.
Okay.
Whatever, wizard.
Forgar and the rest. Peleus, remind me, which group do you belong to?
I'm with Galen and Rocky.
Okay. So in this case, Peleus, you also need to make a perception check. Sorry.
So Quarian's alone?
Quarian has walked toward the elf. Galen, Rukvi, and Peleus left for the wizard, but now they are in the middle of the square.
14.
14. So that's a little bit better.
Bad.
Yeah, still a little bit better. So you kind of.
With a +9.
Yeah,
That's
so
bad.
you saw the hand that touches Rukvi, but then you've lost the figure in the crowd. But what you do remember is that the hand was very much deformed, very long fingers, swollen ankles, or knuckles. Sorry. Yeah, but then kind of Rukvi turned to you and pointed at the wagon and whispered, "The fiend, the fiend." Forgar and Enderist, you have left for the boat. Parlane's shadow. And as you walk toward it, you can see that there are at least two more ships docked at the port. Most of them are unloading goods. And again, you can see smelly and dirty looking dock hands cursing under the weight, but you can see that they are sweaty in spite of the fierce cold. So this is going on.
So I think we should stop at the other two ships first
Okay.
and ask them what it would cost to get to Luskan or preferably Neverwinter, and when they leave and how long.
Okay, makes sense. The first ship, the first ship that you, not board, but knock on, has this wooden sign behind it that is dripping and almost covered by algae. Obviously, not in a very good condition. The sign spells the word devious. And on top of it, on the deck, you can find a female human with a dark skin. She is not like black, but simply dark, and she's very curly, and her eyes are gray. She holds a bottle of something that could probably melt the glass, which it contained it, but she drinks it so fast that no danger there. And when you ask about traveling the waters, she says, "Not until the monster is slain."
What monster?
She approaches you, and you kind of get this wave of alcohol that she kind of projects. So you get dizzy for a second, and then she says, "It's not a monster. It's a machine, a cursed machine sailing underwater."
And let me guess. From a distance, it makes the hulls of your ship explode.
Yes, I've seen it.
And you never see it. Oh, just you see it cresting the water, right?
I've seen the Expeditious blown into pieces when this beast raised its head and expelled something fiery. And this fiery worm, traveled in the sea, and when it hit the hull of the Expeditious, it exploded. Magnificent, but I would never set sail until this beast is slain. I'm told there are some adventurers doing that. She unsteadily walks to her cabin. A beast,
All right.
a beast, a beast.
When was the last time?
Very well. The next ship.
The next ship is called the Wind. The Wind Striker.
Okay.
And this ship is operated, or it is commandeered by 3 gnomes, and they are holding this mighty sack full of scrolls, and they pop one out from the sack, and they read something, and then they ask a very bored female who sits next to them, Mr. Humpy Puppington, living in the street of this and that. And she says, yes, no, that's in Luskan. No, this is Brinshander. No, you have to go to... So basically male. And as you step up, they simply say that traveling back to Luskan with the Wind Striker will cost you 5 GP a piece. And it includes 1 meal a day and open quarters, basically saying that you're on the deck, responsible for yourself, and according to the laws of free trade and vessels traveling in territorial waters, you are required by law to defend the vessel on which you
It would only make sense to do so. I don't want to drown.
Yeah. And they will leave in 3 days.
Where?
They will leave in 3 days. They stop at Neverwinter. They don't go near Luskan. And since there are rumors of of pirates' attacks masquerading themselves as magical beasts, they will circle Luskan through the sea of moving ice, and then set sail to Neverwinter.
A bit longer to get there.
It will take something like 5 days instead of 2. So, sorry. 5 days to basically, instead of the 2 that require to move from 10 towns to Luskan, and then 3 additional more to Neverwinter. So 8 days
8
overall.
days.
Yeah.
The third ship, which is the whatever.
The Perlane's
Promised.
Shadow. Or basically the Shadow. So indeed, the merchants. You can see it's a merchant's ship, and there is a fierce debate there. Obviously, some lord is shouting about basically about his credit card being revoked. And as you draw near, you hear something about the Black Staff of Neverwinter, who issued a list of lords who have been replaced by intellect devourers. So they have eradicated a plague, or succeeded in eradicating an attempt of some unknown faction to take hold of the city by replacing as much as possible of its nobles with mind-controlled minions. And apparently this lord's name is in the list. So the ship's captain doesn't want him on board. And there's a lot of shouting because the lord's luggage is on the ship and the captain isn't willing to release it. So some shouts there.
So can let them fight it out for a bit, Forgar.
Yeah. They
We can.
can yell at each other, and then
So-
we'll come up once somebody.
So Forgar, as they shout, and Andor is kind of, wonders, should we stay or should we go? Something flutters at the side of your vision, and
Okay.
as you turn around and watch it, you can see some reddish. You can only describe it as a fairy. It's
Okay.
a tiny reddish lizard with magnificent wings. Each time it flutters its wing, kind of sparkles fall from it. And this lizard curls itself against a pole behind you and does this with its finger.
I walk over to the list.
Literally just got distracted by a butterfly, right? And
Yes, I did. They're fighting, it's no big deal. We'll go chat with them once they're done.
This lizard flies to you, lands on your shoulder, and
Okay.
tells you, whispers into your ear, in this small voice, shaking from sparkles and stars. You should look for the Star Chaser.
The Star Chaser.
Yes, its captain is waiting for you. It's a ship especially for you.
Is it in this port?
It is in another port.
Alright.
Updrag.
Which one?
You should follow the south gate from Bryn Shander for about 4 hours, and there you'll find a meal prepared for you, and the ship's captain is waiting for you there.
Waiting to ambush me there?
Oh, no, some great food and a ship that was built for you. Oh, it's going to be such an adventure! And then it
Get in the van. I've got candy.
Yeah, totally.
and then it
Come down the sewers.
it flutters away.
That shit.
Yeah.
No.
So I'll walk back to you, Anders, and be like, did you just see that talking little tiny dragon sparkly thing?
Has the exhaustion gotten to you finally?
No, it was real. It said that there's a ship waiting for us, half a day's walk out of town. Well, for me, but... Pardon?
Little butterfly winged little dragon lizard thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably a wizard's familiar.
Could be. You ever heard of a ship called the Star Chaser?
Personally, no, but yes. Bought it a long time ago.
There was a
Oh?
compass involved.
Candy, but remember it? Your old notes.
Sorry, Brian, you cut out
Familiar.
mad and I didn't hear any.
Me now?
It often cuts off
For me?
what you're talking about.
I can hear you fine, actually. You're not cutting out for me.
No,
Oh, really?
for me, you're cutting out too.
I have in my notes.
You hear me now? Am I still cutting out?
I can hear you now.
I think it's a connection thing. I don't think
Mhm.
it has anything to do on your side.
Last time it was just me that was a problem because the recorded video was fine.
Huh.
Your notes, because I think we talked about the Star Chaser a long time ago. I wasn't
I
been
have,
part of the party then.
I think I have
Basketball
the-
by Kona?
It's the exactly. It's Star Dancer, I think, not Star Chaser.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Vaskova is the name of the captain, actually.
So maybe it's. Anyways, are they still arguing about board?
Yes.
So yeah, they're still arguing, but you can interject if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna telepathically reach out to the noble's mind. It's gonna.
Oh, God.
You should leave now.
Okay. And he turns. Oh my God! It's true. They got to me too. Ah! And then he kind of.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'll just let him run away, and then I'll shake my head and walk up to the whoever it is.
Oh, I've got my mind replaced too.
Then again, we need to get to Neverwinter as fast as possible.
So, with you talking to the Shadows captain, they, since you have been discussing stuff with the merchant, they will give you a quote of 25 gold pieces each. It will take 2 days to Luskan. They are stopping there for restocking. They will stop for 1 day, and then it's 2 days to Neverwinter.
And that be leaving right away.
Yeah.
Fast, more expensive. That makes sense. And we'll let you know. Thank you.
Okay.
I still think we should maybe go look into the Star Chaser.
Just asking for it.
I know. Oh, very much so, I know.
Quarian, you stand before this good-smelling elf, and he is watching you approach with a smile. Yes, friend, what can I help you with?
I smile right back at him with my biggest smile as well. It is such a great honor to meet you, my friend. It has been a long time since I've seen such a fellow elf in front of me.
Oh, greetings
It's
and salutation. It's been so long since I've found a worthy adversary of exchanging those high words. A bard's duel, my friend, and he smiles like shiny teeth.
I take out my lute and I start to play.
I am so glad I'm on the dock.
Me.
So yeah, you two start exchanging taunts and fancy words and quotes from plays and jazz patterns and jazz licks. What can I help you with? Everything for my new friend Quarian of.
Yeah. Of Marmaril. Well, I heard a few friends speaking a while ago that they're considering joining your caravan back to Neverwinter.
Oh,
I was wondering if a few friends of mine could join as well.
of course, as long as you don't mind a little sparkle along the way.
Never mind the sparkle. What do you have in mind?
Oh, let's just say that I have this very nice shortcut that helps me clear the path in practically no time. And it's 99.9% safe.
Ooh. Now I'm interested about that 1%. Come on.
It's
Bad
one
math.
bad in math. Totally safe, nothing to worry about. I even have 8 dwarfs who are, as you know, highly suspicious and resilient to magic, traveling with me. Obviously, I didn't mention this sparkle that I mentioned, but since you are a member of the highly prestige order of
Yeah.
this, therefore, I put all the cards on the table and let you know that traveling with me, while safe, requires a little open-minded approach to traveling.
To traveling.
Take.
How long do you expect our trip to take, my friend?
Oh, it really depends on how fast do we cross the sparkly thing. I only charge, and this is like, heart to heart, since you are obviously a man of many talents, and I can use you along the way. A simple fee of 150 gold per head, and you will get entertainment, food, and when he says food, the Goliath kind of raises his head, and kind of, and a general no questions asked approach, and to which the halfling kind of looks away from his books and goes, "What?"
Well, that sounds pretty much legit, I think. I'll tell you what. I'll speak with my friends. I think your price is a bit high, so I might have to ask you to go down to give us a small discount if you wouldn't mind. We're not all that rich folks. But how about I speak with my friends about this and we'll get back to you. When are you planning on taking off?
Oh, we are simply loading the wagon here. A few drinks at the bar. The dwarfs will join, and off we go.
So tomorrow morning-ish?
Oh yes, sounds fine.
All right. So I shall be in touch then. And if not, have a great journey, my friend.
You forgot to ask how long he estimated it to take.
Yeah, he never answered that question.
I did ask. You didn't answer. Okay. I'll
For
I'll
an
go back
answer
to the
on
bar
that.
to regroup with you guys.
I wanna do something while this conversation is happening.
Yes.
I walk up to the warehouse, I guess, that's being unloaded by the Goliath, and if I may, the Goliath is grabbing a box, setting it down, and grabbing a box, and setting it down. But then my hands hand him the box, and he sets it down. As I try to take a peek at whatever merchandise there.
So as you approach this Goliath, you can see a couple of interesting things. First, his bare-waisted? No, like bare-chested. Sorry, that would have been really awkward. But
Right.
Just his chest. Just
yeah,
his waist.
But inverted barbarian.
Yeah, but he has this leathery belt on which there are a dozen of small, how do you call the thing you pour pepper and salt from?
Salt shaker?
Salt shaker? Okay, cool. So spice shaker, let's call it this way.
Yeah.
So many containers, and he smells of, curcumin and pepper and all kinds of spices that usually go with food. So as you approach and you look at to the depth of the wagon, you are assailed by that smell, and you see that he unloads small crates. All are marked with the symbol of an elven house. Do you read elven?
Let me check. I think. Yep, I got Elven.
Okay, so it's House Alarothi. And the name kind of, rings a bell. So make a history check.
Come on, history. -1. 18.
Oh, with an 18, you immediately remember or recall that this house is a very, very famous noble house from Neverwinter. And you even remember this legend that House Al-Rothi was one of the city's founders. And inside, so all those boxes inside are marked with this symbol. There is a large horizontal coffin-like or coffin-sized box, also marked with the symbol of this house, which lies inside, to which the Goliath doesn't it doesn't seem like he's going to unload it. But there is another symbol on that box, but you can't see it. It's like you can see only the dim shape of it, and as you try to look deeper inside, the Goliath goes.
I act stupidly and I say, how are we moving this one? As I move towards the coffin and put my hands
So
as if I'm about to lift it.
he does then this, but his hand is 3 times your his finger is 3 times your hand, so you kind of feel it, and he grabs you and says,
I don't get paid enough for this. I try to take a closer look at the new symbol on this coffin.
make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yeah, oops, I gotta roll twice. $20 and $20.
What? Seriously?
What?
Oh my god. So, in this case, you have spotted the mystic symbol of the elven deity of Shehenin Moonbow. She is the elven goddess of death.
Bow. Rugby stifles an inhale at this as he's being held by the Goliath and says, Right, of course. Wait for him to let him go.
Okay.
And as I bring in, I guess he believes I'm just another worker now. There's something. Was there something in the carriage that was fiendish? Or
Yes.
was it in the...
Yes. You believe it's fiendish and in that box.
Oh, in the same coffin. Okay. So then Rugby tries to sort of get out of there before they realize he doesn't work there.
Okay.
Tries to find his friend.
Good. Good. Okay, someone wanted to visit the house of Sirac, if I remember correctly. Or, I'm sorry, a house of a wizard.
Yes.
So,
I'm on my way there.
so who is on his way where?
But the wizard, that's me.
Galen, wizard, and... Okay.
I'll go over to the house of Sirac. I want to investigate. If anybody wants to join me, you're welcome.
Okay. So, Galen, you got direction to the mansion of Lord Roaringhorn. As you step in, you see that the mansion's staff are all dressed in black, as if grieving. And when you query about the Lord himself, they nod and say that he is dying, and he should be left alone to be one with his loved ones who passed away during the attack. And they don't seem very eager to let you in.
I have friends that might be able to help him. if I can examine him and talk to him, then maybe we can help him.
One of the workers says he has placed a guardian on the door to his room. We will allow you to visit this guardian. If it will let you in or not, this is not up to us.
What kind of guardian?
The magical one. The magical kind.
Of course. Show me the way.
So they do let you in. It's a small, grim mansion, but indeed it looks like this lord has some access to a very like good amount of wealth. As you step up the stairs, you see a large hall and what appears to be a metallic statue standing in front of a small wooden door. Decorated with the the mansion's basically symbol, which is a horn surrounded by teardrops. And this thing is, it looks like a statue until you step closer, and then it kind of moves its head robotically to you. You have this unpleasant feeling as if someone is stripping you naked and looks deep into the soul that you don't have.
Yes, I'll do like a little bow before it and say, hello, my name is Galen Rain. I'm here to and ask for your help, but also offer help in return.
This creature speaks to you in a hollow voice, and it basically says, "The master is expiring. Please, go away."
That's what I heard, but I have friends that might be able to stop that.
Make a persuasion check.
My good skill. Oh, that's a 10. With my
10.
-1.
Okay. It looks at you and says, "There is nothing you can do here. Please leave."
How close is he standing to the door, and does the door seem to be like locked and sturdy, or?
It's a wooden door that you might find in the, in a fancy mansion. You don't see a mighty lock on it or something like that. It's a door handle with a place to insert a key. You are not sure if it's locked or not. And the creature is basically standing in front of it, something like 3 feet in front of it.
Would I be able to get around the creature and try and open the door?
You might be able even to kind of duck, between his.
Below them.
Yeah. So if you really want, you can try to do that.
Yes. I will, bow down, say thank you for your time, and then rush forward, and I'll use bonus action to dodge, and then try the door.
Okay. In this case, I will let you. I will let you make a dexterity check. So it's basically a contest to see.
And not acrobatics, just dex.
If you want to tumble, it's fine to make an acrobatics check. I don't mind.
I'm rolling terribly today, but still, it's a 16.
Okay, a 16 is much better than his 4. So you duck beneath his feet and rush to the door. It doesn't manage to grab you in time, and you try the door. The door opens, and you find yourself in a dark room. On a large beds surrounded with candles that burn in a magical light. You can see a human, a very old human, lying on it with half of its body crushed, as if something stepped on it. So half of its body is like immensely deformed. There are tubes running from parts of its body, and a robed figure with its back to you, having all the tubes running in front of it. So this figure is probably is working on some device, or it's doing something to that mass of tubes that are running from the noble's body and in front of this hooded figure. So this is what happens when you open the door, and at this point I need you to make an initiative check. In the meantime.
7.
Okay.
At the 7, rolling poorly.
Yeah. Okay. Quarian wanted to visit the house of Sirac. So you do find the house quite easily. It's surrounded with a yellow strip, no trespassing, like police. No, I'm joking, nothing like that. But it's located in a very, you can say the rim of Bryn Shander, next to the wall. It's not a very fancy place, obviously a very simple dwelling of a fisherman. Probably you can see a lot of equipment like how is it called, a bow, not a bow,
A fishing rod?
a fishing rod, exactly, and some hooks and equipment that is used by fishermen to maintain their equipment. The door is wide open, and as you go in, you find something like 6 or 7 members of a homeless family huddled around the fireplace there, trying to keep themselves warm. As you go in, they raise their hands and say, "We had nowhere to go."
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm just here to look around. I heard that somebody was kidnapped from here, and I was just thought I'd take a look around. If you guys don't mind.
They say, "Sure, you're talking about Sirac."
Yeah.
It was
Do you
taken.
know him?
Of course, everyone knew him. He was a very honest and very plain and very pleasant man. He was a fisherman, but found that he could heal with a word. So he joined the temple, but obviously the gods were not smiling to him on that cursed day.
I do hope that they will smile at him soon. If you do not mind, I would like to take a look around his house. And also, do you perhaps know if he had like a foster child or someone that he was looking after?
No, he didn't. He was I wouldn't say lonely, because he was quite a friendly man, and he visited the tavern many times, and quite a pleasant guy. But he wasn't married, so no kids, and other than those blasted monsters that hunted him, it was strange, because there was a man with those monsters holding a jewel, a blood red jewel used as a compass
Could you describe the man?
He was well. I think he was well. Had a hood on his face, and actually all of the eyes were on the six monsters and the dark elf that led them. So, but he was probably a wizard. We could hear him mumble things to the stone as he walked the streets and pointed the dark elf here.
Okay, interesting. Okay, folks, thank you very much. I hope that you guys are okay. Please accept this as a gift from me and my friends, and I give them a couple of gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
And,
Their eyes light and they thank you from the bottom of their hearts.
sure. And I try to search the house to see if I can find anything that might lead to that maybe was missed, or anything that anything of interest.
Okay. So make an investigation check.
Sure. Okay, 15 plus 3, so that's 18.
Okay. With an 18, you do find a letter in a scroll case addressed to Sirac. The handwrite is familiar to you. It's from Jolly. Basically saying, I am coming, hold tight, everything will be okay soon.
Okay.
And the letter is, like the date on it is around the time that you have left, I think it was Waterdeep, a long time ago, almost 2 months ago.
So when we started our adventure, really.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I asked the people of Earth if he seemed more troubled recently.
No, he did say he had an important guest that is coming soon, but time passed, no guest came, so maybe a bit worried, but sometimes it takes time to actually reach Bryn Shander. The roads can be dangerous and hard to travel.
Indeed. Okay. So thank you guys very much, and okay, I think that I'll go back, and maybe later guys can go over to the temple and see if we can find somewhere from over there.
Okay. Rukvi, what's going on next to Vandar's wagons?
I think Rugvi, once he parts ways and he's back in the crowd, he wants to see if Galen or Peleus are around.
So you do find you do
yeah.
find Peleus.
Yeah, I'm on the market just looking to buy
You're just
some
like looking at some pears, like sniffing them.
No, no, I'm actually looking for like adventuring gear that I like so much last.
The dried pears.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Rugvi calls you over,
Okay.
or
what's
waits you
going on
over,
then?
and then he tells you, I sense a fiendish presence in that carriage. There's a coffin.
In that carriage. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Smells like trouble. We should probably take a peek, or at least follow them.
I will cast. Do I have it? Yeah, I have pass without trace. So yeah, I will just cast pass without trace on us.
Okay.
Also, that symbol of the elven goddess of that house. No, the symbol of that house. I don't know if I saw the list, but was this house or this person on the list of lords that were infiltrated by brain devourers?
So the lords that were infiltrated by intellect devourers are lords of Waterdeep, and this house belongs to Neverwinter.
Oh, Neverwinter, right. Okay. All right. So yeah, Rugby says, okay. So you're sneaky, right? Because I'm not.
We should both be kinda sneaky now.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
test it.
And
I
I
don't.
sprinkle
I guess I
some
don't
dust
jingle.
over your head.
I don't jingle as much.
Wait, do you have like heavy armor or something, or?
Yeah, I have what is it? It's splint armor.
I don't think is that heavy armor?
I think it's heavy. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's I get disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Oh yeah, I think it's half blade or something that doesn't give disadvantage.
I definitely have disadvantage.
Okay.
Well, see if you can. Let's get near there. I'll stand by, ready to come in. You turn into something small and take a peek in that coffin. Maybe like a little monkey or something. Just lift it.
Okay. Yeah, wait, let's see what I have. Maybe like just like a bird or something. Oh,
Sneak
Okay.
through just about anything.
Yeah, but you have to lift the lid. As a bird, it would be hard probably.
A mouse could squeeze between the boards.
What about a snake?
a snake. If someone sees you as a snake, you're probably like instantly dead.
Throw you?
Yeah.
So you pinwheel off in the background?
Let's just.
Maybe I can put myself in a box.
Wait, I can be an insect swarm. That's perfect, actually. As an insect, I can like crawl, like wherever. I can fly.
That's I mean, a cloud of insects is not something like a loud cloud of insects isn't something that's not noticeable.
I can have the rest of the cloud just stay outside.
You can't turn into a swarm of monsters.
No, I think that's what they're
No,
called.
no,
Like
you,
a
you,
swarm
you
of-
can't. I'm pretty sure it's shapeshift says it has to be one creature, not into a swarm.
No, I think I specifically read a rule on that somewhere. I know that there are rules on like how you die or whatever if you're a swarm. I think you can turn into a swarm.
Can
Okay,
you hear
but
me now? Am I still breaking up?
no,
Yes,
now you're fine.
Oh.
Okay, a mouse can fit between the boards of just about anything. They can flatten their skull. Like, it'll get in there.
They can flatten their skull?
Mm-hmm. Cockroaches do
Neat.
something similar too.
Yeah, let's just be a mouse then, I guess.
Okay, so you turn into a mouse and try to sneak into the wagon unnoticed.
Yep, I will
Okay.
try to sneak in
I
and
will-
see what.
I will try to help by grabbing a box and dropping it on my toe and making a bunch of noise.
Okay, so Mickey Mouse, make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, with advantage and the +10 from the.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow!
That's lucky. That's a 20, but those were terrible rolls.
Okay, so you find yourself in the wagon, trying to be careful not to be squashed by one of the boxes there that the Goliath moves around, and you can approach this coffin-like box, and as you do, your mousy skin kind of have goosebumps on it. You feel that cracking open that lid is bad news.
go inside.
Do
I
it.
mean,
Do
I need
it.
to
Do
know.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
I will do it. I mean, I know that there's like something bad going on anyway, so
No,
yes,
kidding.
I will try to.
Think
do
about
so.
it. I mean, you feel that, you know, that's bad news. Now, also, when you're close, you can see that the lid is surrounded by elven writings, like sigils that were burned into the lid of this thing. If you can read Elven, I might be able to translate.
Yeah, I should be able to read. I mean, I'm a wood elf, right? So yeah, I have Elvish
Yeah.
as language.
Okay. So yeah, so you do have Elven on the.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay, good. So you believe that these are runes of protection that should keep whatever is inside dormant, and there is a motive that keeps repeating itself. Something about the chained doom.
Hmm. Okay. I guess in that case I will return for now to Rugby, and we'll see how we go from here.
Okay, Rukvi. So a mouse drops from the wagon and says, "Meep meep 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 meep."
I hurriedly scurry over, pick it up, and put it up to my face.
I I turn into a wood elf again. Okay,
Well.
so yeah, I didn't open the thing, but there was writing on it, and yeah, there seems to be something chained inside. I don't think we should open it.
Okay. Well, how's Alarothi? Is there anything I know more about the house Alarothi?
What do you want to know?
If they've done anything shady in the past?
So you don't think so? At least not according to what you recall. But this might require a little bit of investigation, maybe going over some books or history notes. Your roll was high before, but you don't recall anything shady about this family.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that there is no secret, but you simply don't know.
All right. Okay, then Brookby says, "Well, okay, that was part A. That was just intelligence. Now we gotta go in there." I picked out 2 boxes. I think we can fit in both of them. When I was looking around. You ready?
Wait, what?
Well,
Why
we're
says
going in
party?
there. We're gonna wait it out until they stop unpacking, and then we can pop out and
Do
take this
what?
coffin with us.
Yeah, okay. We can definitely steal the coffin. That sounds like a good idea.
Who
Um,
steals a coffin from the elven goddess of death? It is definitely bad. We
Yeah.
have to stop this. We have to redeem ourselves after all that horrible
Is
things we've done.
Is she an
Oh, yeah,
is she an
I
evil goddess or is
definitely
she a
agree.
neutral goddess?
She's actually chaotic good.
Yeah, she's not an evil goddess.
You would know that. You would know that.
No, I know, but that's why he thinks they're stealing from her.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay, so as you prepare to take an opportunity and climb into the wagon, maybe when the Goliath is not looking, Galen. So you rolled rather poorly on your check. So
7 is a good number.
yes, a lucky number.
Yes.
So as you enter the room, this hooded figure turns around, and you can basically see that all of the tubes basically connect to this crystal jar, which is filled with gooey liquid, and inside of the jar you can see a brain floating. As you look at the body of the wizard, you can see that its skull is open. There is a device there that was obviously used to extract his brain. And when the hooded figure turns around, you can see that it is a man, rather puffy in the cheeks, and he turns around and looks at you and says, it looks at the jar and then at you and then at the dead wizard, and then it says, I can explain. And at this point, the shield, this creature behind you, the metallic one, grabs you at the neck. So
Does it actually hit me?
I don't know. Tries to grab you.
I am dodging, so disadvantage on attack.
Okay. So the first attack, the highest number is 15.
Nope.
And the second attack, the highest number is 18.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Let me just double check. 17. No, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
Good. So it tries to grab you. So if you want, you can make a dexterity or strength check.
I will make a dexterity check.
Okay.
16.
A 16 is good, but still I need to make a strength check for him. Oh, that's fine. So it doesn't do you any damage. It's only is basically pinning you, so you will simply stay there. And this human puts aside the jar gently with all the tubes in, and marks to the creature to close the door. So he shoves you in and shuts the door. And then you can see that the man's hands are covered with what appears to be leather gloves. So he kind of removes them and says, I'm terribly sorry you had to see this. It's ghastly, I know.
Oh, I've seen worse. Does this machine remind me of where I woke up when we got reanimated? There are a lot of tubes there also.
Yes, so some similarity. And the man says, this is a very simple procedure all of our order members are going through when they find themselves in such an unfortunate fate of not living but not really dead. A simple matter of knowledge extraction is required to preserve our all the information that this beloved lord have gathered during his lifetime. It shouldn't really go to waste. The other.
Have you tried? Yes, but before you did this, have you tried medical healing?
Oh, we have actually.
Oh.
We have, yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the priest living in this town has left, and I wouldn't want to trust such a complicated matter in the hands of an unexperienced and unconditioned acolyte, if you wish. It was the only way to actually guarantee the continuity of the Lord's research.
Yes, well, I do have some friends who are quite skilled at healing people.
Oh, I'm afraid this is too late. And he kind of points at the jar.
Yes, I understand. Like you said, your order, so you must be a wizard of some caliber also.
Oh, I'm a mechanic mostly.
Okay. So you know nothing about medical travel. How do you intend to get out of here?
Oh well, I've heard there are several ships waiting at the dock, and there's this funny elf who promised me a shortcut. to Luskan, but he was a bit dodgy about his methods.
Oh yes, I have friends who's at the docks and at the market talking with people. We're trying to get to Neverwinter.
Oh, I see. So yes, Luskan should be your first destination, and yeah, many caravans travel from Luskan to Neverwinter. But you know, magical travel, if you've raised the subject, is tricky, especially in this time of the year. I've heard that in Waterdeep, several wizards who have used teleportation have been snatched to some other place and were vanished and never seen before. Again, sorry.
Oh, so snatched to an ice. I don't know if I knew the area. So snatched to an area like that and then attacked by a white dragon, maybe?
Oh, that was the rumor. Exactly that. And
Yes. Well, the white dragon's dead. Winter Cloak, I believe it was called. And I pull out a tooth. See? From the dragon. We tried that once. Yeah.
So he says, "Oh, so the rumors are true. Amazing. I never thought I'll ever encounter an incident in which rumors turn out to be actually true. That's amazing. But you prove my point. Teleportation is a big no-no."
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to intrude like that. It was rather rude of me.
Wait.
No.
You have been snatched with Harshnag. Did you know that there is an amazing monetary prize on the head of Harshnag? It's 100,000 gold pieces. To be paid on giving precise information on the whereabouts of this giant to Lord Neverember in Neverwinter. Do you know where Harshnag is? This could set us for life. We'll be rich as... well, a lot more than this puny lord.
Yes. Well, sadly we got separated about a month ago.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
And you can see that he is kind of eyeing the brain, and you have this obvious feeling that he is considering another extraction as he looks at you. So you have seen him not a while ago. Very interesting. Very interesting. And what did you want of this unfortunate lord of us?
Magical transportation, as I said.
I see. To Luskan, you say? Or
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter. Very interesting. So let's say that I'm willing to risk it and perform this dangerous ritual to transport us back to Neverwinter. If, of course, you are willing to share some information about where this frost giant could be.
He could be quite far from here. Like a month is a long time.
I see.
He could be anywhere.
I see. Okay. In this case, simply by letting me know that, I could maybe expedite my journey and actually teleport us away from here. Is this a service you and your friends would be interested in?
I could talk to them.
Okay.
They might be.
Okay. So I'm here for the time being. This process will take me another day or so. So you can decide, talk to your friends, and if it's something that interests you, I will be here. My name is Valish, by the way.
Vegas. It was a pleasure to meet you, even under these difficult circumstances.
Yes, I'm sure you understand.
Yes, and again, apologize for just rudely barging in.
Oh, that's a very
Time was of the essence.
fortunate event. I've learned so much.
And now, out of character, do I actually know like where Harsnik is right now?
Yes,
have talked to him
yes,
after
yes,
we played
yes.
that.
You do exactly.
Doing?
Yeah.
I wasn't lying. We were separated a month ago. Just failed to mention that we met up again recently. And is Hartwig coming with us? Is that the plan?
No. He said that he won't come with you, but he will meet you before you leave, and he gave specific instructions where to find him. He's basically hiding somewhere at the outskirts of Brinchander.
Well,
Okay.
I will take my leave then, and as long as the shield guardian you mentioned, or golem, or whatever the creature outside is.
Yeah, he's simply watching you as you leave with his metallic eyes.
And did Wayless also say that I should meet him here or someplace else?
Here, he'll be here for at least another day.
Yes. I will head back to the inn where we're staying
Okay.
to share the good news with my friends.
Uh,
A totally not evil, freaky, Frankensteinish monster creature thing is willing to maybe teleport us.
There are so many people in this town that I want to kill right now.
Yes. And if you were like really a good alliance, you would probably include Galen in that list.
This guy's only gonna teleport our bodies and leave our brains behind, so he can just like, great.
Well, you can live without a
There-
soul, you can probably live without a brain also.
Yeah, probably. A golem, I guess.
okay. So,
There again.
did I? Am I? Do I still owe one of you something, in terms of things you wanted to do and didn't?
If everything went well with Peleus and Rugby, they'd be in a box in the carriage waiting for them to leave so they can leave their box.
Okay, so since Peleus has made his pass without trace spell, you can definitely try and roll for stealth, and then we'll see if you have been noticed or not, and then you can attempt to climb. Okay.
Okay, and 18 for me.
17 for Rugby.
Okay. So with those rolls, you have managed to slip into the wagon when the Goliath and the Halfling have gone to cook something to eat.
Right.
Yes.
Rugby tries to lift a bit of the coffin to see how heavy it is. Just one side of it.
Okay.
Is it doable?
You are. Let me see. Yes. It's heavy. There is obviously something inside, and as you lift it, there is a rattle of chains from the inside.
Okay.
Is there like a blanket or something around it we can throw over the coffin?
You search the wagon and you find like several sacks that you tear open and cover the coffin.
Okay.
Right. There's a moment where like like when you're moving furniture, where like no, grab it from here. No, like, wait, let me until I do this. Ow, my arm. And we try to get it out of there, I guess, while they're not looking. Get it into an alley, I guess.
Okay, so in this case, I will need you to make another stealth check, but this time with disadvantage because you're hauling this huge coffin in broad daylight.
Double disadvantage for me, I guess.
I don't know what is a double disadvantage, just one
You
disadvantage.
can only have one.
So that's 21.
Okay, amazing.
And that's 29.
Okay, so you two are like two shadows carrying a coffin in the middle of the market, broad daylight, but Peleus' magic engulfs you, and so you manage to slink away with your load. Where do you want to take it?
Towards our meeting place, maybe
To the inn?
in the back. Yeah, and not inside the inn, but probably in the back of the inn, behind the dumpster,
Okay.
covered with some bags.
Okay. Andorist, Forgar, Aquarian, Galen. Let's assume you all meet at the inn.
Okay. I think everybody's coming. You wouldn't believe what we found, and everybody says that at the same time.
Yeah. We have a surprise.
Yeah, I'll just let you know about the ships. I think we should cheap enough that we can all afford it. Astus, it's only 5 days to Luskin. Winter.
Tell you guys about this caravan. I keep forgetting his name. This merchant. I tell you
Fungar.
that- Fungar?
Panda.
Vandar.
Whatever his name. I tell you that I think it seems to me that he actually thinks that he's got something up his sleeve, but I'm not really sure. He's very, hush hush about that edge. He calls it sparkle, which seems a bit extreme even for a bard. I don't know.
Like the sparkling lizard that Forgar mentioned. I assume you mentioned that, Forgar.
I definitely mentioned that.
What sparkling
That
lizard?
ship?
And I of course
Flying.
mentioned the wizard with the teleport. I do say that he asked for information about Harsnack, but I don't mention what he was doing or how I got the situation about it with the tubes and everything. Just that he seemed like he was maybe a bit shady, but I don't know. I don't want to lie to him, but if someone else were to convince him that Harsnack is somewhere far away, then he might be able to teleport us. Just for saying that. You gotta
I'll advise you guys that there's
one Harsnack.
attacking ships. The monster in the bay is a submarine. We're gonna have to figure out how to.
It's hard to fight against that.
Against what?
Especially if it has the exploding things that shoot out.
Yeah, we don't have anything I think that can defend against it.
So I'm assuming all this conversation happens around the coffin behind the dumpsters.
Oh yeah, and what's
Maybe, maybe we're like, Peleus and I have something we need to show you that we found.
You guys
Why
are
are
with
we
us? I
stealing
assumed you weren't
coffee?
here.
No, you find them smoking cigarettes, sitting on the coffin as you come in.
The bartenders are standing there next to us, having a chit chat.
Literally, where is the?
It's probably behind some dumpsters in the back of the inn, covered with some bags, so it looks like trash.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're interrupting our conversation about travel to Neverwinter because you guys stole a box. And you guys say I'm evil.
Right.
No, I think we should
We should return it.
We should bury it actually.
Can I reach? Oh
Have
no,
we
I can't see it.
confirmed that whoever's in is dead?
Also, the person that we stole from was the merchant that Aquarian was talking to, right?
And
Yeah.
now I will then mention, like, remember we were at that party in Neverwinter with the High Lord of Neverwinter, and just as we were talking to the Lord, my wife, then there was those two demons that came out with chains
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, I remember we beat one of them, didn't we? And we pushed
Yeah,
one of
the
them
other-
back through the gate. I think you did.
Yeah. I
If
I
that was the
turned
case,
one
I'd
of them
be
into
worried.
a snail.
Yes.
I was protecting my wife at the time from the evil
Right.
guy.
Yeah, but how is it here?
I don't know if this is the same thing.
Just because we
Yeah.
heard chains in it doesn't mean it's a demon. It could be a
It's a-
bloody human there.
Could be a what?
Was
sorry?
it? Didn't the runes mention a name?
Yeah.
Chain
What was
something?
it? The bad one?
The chain
yeah,
doomed.
The chain
Chain Doom.
The chain dude.
Yeah.
Doom.
Yes.
No, we
Yeah,
should we
so
should
it-
just dig a nice big hole, put it in there where
Why?
it belongs.
You
and-
have no idea if that's not what this guy was like. Maybe he was transporting it to someone so they could eliminate this demon forever.
Or
You don't
I
know that he
highly-
Yeah,
stole
or
it.
yeah,
How do you
I
highly
mean,
doubt it? You have no reason to not trust the guy.
Or maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, we can do that as well. We can like eliminate it by just
You
digging
don't
a
know
very
that.
deep hole.
Just
That won't.
Putting it in
That
there.
won't eliminate a demon. They're immortal. It'll just
Yeah,
slowly
that's
dig its
why
way
the
out.
whole-
You want them chained
And
up
hold
and
his
locked
feet.
up and forgotten. That's the only way to get them to
Yeah.
calm
No,
down.
no, you don't.
No.
You don't want to leave it
Exactly.
somewhere
This
where
is
everyone
ridiculous.
can find it.
That's
This
what it
is
says in the Paladin
insane.
rules.
This is insane. You
Paladin
this-
rules says we don't
might be-
steal coffee. Like, I think that's like number
Oh my
2
God.
next to
What are
don't
we doing?
disappoint your god.
Okay,
we
I have
steal
a- I
coffins
have an
when somebody
idea.
else is stealing the coffin.
We walk away from this. We leave it in the alley. We don't talk about it ever again. We get to Neverwinter.
No.
No, we take it back!
Let's just pretend
we
like
bring it
this
back
never
to the person
happened.
you guys stole it.
Yeah,
what
sorry,
about
my
the-
kid stole this from your store.
Yeah. Let's just leave it outside where in 5 minutes or in an hour,
Some kid-
some homeless guy or homeless kid will come out there looking for food, look inside to see if there's food,
And then potentially open a
and
demon.
release
We
the
bring
chain
it back?
doom.
We,
Well,
we,
you know,
we bring it
Richard-
back to them.
You know, Brinchander is rebuilding anyway, so.
What? and and who was the evil guys in the party?
All right.
Oh, this town is rebuilding anyway.
So,
Another demon.
If we travel with this guy,
Swear to God, if you guys keep doing
Galen.
sketchy shit,
Also, this
that,
isn't
I'm
a
gonna
demon, this
lose
is a
my
fiend.
fit.
Galen,
Yeah.
the voice
True.
in your head says, they said the coffin was heavy and it rattled of metal. Is it heavy like 100,000 gold heavy?
Could it fit a giant's head?
No. But walking inside to myself, if you're in corporeal and were not affected by a cave crashing down on me, what were you doing while I was dead? And also, could you look into the box?
Oh yeah, look into the box. That thing I can certainly do, and I must tell you that being naked for a month was not a pleasant experience at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You were close.
so here I shed my clothes again, and then phew, it's out of your body, and then he says, "Ooh, it's cold," and he floats into the coffin. So you all wait as it's inside.
What the
I need you
fuck
all
are
to
we
roll perception checks.
Shit.
Wait, do it? No teleportation circle at level 5?
16.
16 is amazing.
21.
50.
11.
Ele- 11, 12. Okay, so Peleus,
Perception 19.
19. Rukvi,
21.
21. Okay, so
Whoa.
Peleus, Rukvi, Forgar, and Quirion, as Galen is focusing on the coffin and Andorest as well, you kind of watch your surrounding, and then you all focus on this limp figure who is slowly approaching you, and it's limping and limping, and then as you see it approach, you can see that it's a hooded figure. Only one arm is visible from the folds of the robe, and that arm is very, very deformed and mutilated. The flesh is almost is swollen, purplish. The fingers are enormously long, and then as it closes and closes in, it pulls out the hood. And you all recognize, or maybe recognize, this elven figure, the wizard Kivan, that you have that you have lost contact of so a long time ago. He is limping towards you with tumors all around his body. Something is inflating in his neck, and then explodes and spurts this gooey ichor. And he whispers, "Look at what he's done to me. Look at what you've allowed him to do to me." And this is what you see. And Anderist and Galen, you see the coffin rattles, and then the lid explodes, and chains simply fly out of the of the coffin and hurl themselves to you. So next time we meet, it's a double initiative roll.
I hate you, Rupee. I hate you.
Yes.
This is what happens when you roll.
No. James is like the. Oh, James has experienced this. You tell us, James. You tell
Huh?
them. You've got experience fighting this. You tell them.
Oh god. Restraints from hell.
Oh,
Wait,
restraint.
is any of you guys who play Paladin, did you go like full Paladin, or
I'm full-blooded paladin.
I'm full-blooded paladin.
so you have level 5 spells, do you?
No, it's
No.
level
No.
3.
Level 3.
No, they don't get. I don't think they ever get level 5 spells.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
there are level 5s. There's a 5 Paladin spell called Dispel Evil and Good that I just
Yeah,
bought.
it's you get that at 16
Like
level.
20th level.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
16 gives you your first 5th level spell.
We
I
mostly
think
hit things and look
clerics
good.
get that. Although.
That's all I ever
I
do is I hit things look shiny.
I decided not to play my cleric and play this paladin instead.
Yeah.
I'm such a
But
good
if you were,
paladin.
if you were a cleric, you could just dispel the fiend now and send it back
Temporarily,
to its
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then
Wait,
you
is
have
it-
the
I can banish
banishment.
it, yeah. I can
Yeah,
banish it.
banishment. I think one of you had spells like that. I think one.
Yeah,
of
that
you
lasts
did.
for a minute.
I had a bunch of
Yeah,
awesome
yeah,
spells.
but if they are not native to this plane, they return to the normal
Yeah.
plane. And
Yeah,
then-
it says as your action, make a melee spell attack against a celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend, or undead. On a hit, you attempt to drive the creature back to its home plane. The creature must succeed on a charisma save, or be sent back to its home plane. Yeah, that's it.
So
Yeah. Great.
to be continued.
Yes, good.
Right.
Great.
I brought.
I
I'm-
think I'm busy in 2 weeks' time. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Any
using the wrong character.
Yeah.
Should have had fillery for this fight.
It's more interesting now that I have like just less utility.
Less utility.
and now you have Smite Evil, Smite Demon.
Smite demon.
Okay, so yes, Kivan from the back and chains from the front, and you have the cook.
Yeah.
The cook is just smoking next to you, so maybe he can help.
Oh yeah. The cook
The
rips out
cook is
his
about to
shirt.
die.
And the cook
Oh,
is a huge
poor
Goliath,
innocent
right?
bystander.
No.
Is he being played by Steven Seagal this time?
Halfling ponytail.
Yeah, but sadly not the 90s Steven Seagal, but the like current Steven Seagal. So he like moves forward slowly, then it's out of breath, and then it moves forward slowly again and out of breath.
Okay, so as we finish all of our sessions, think about what you've done, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
It's all
Oh my
Ruby's
God.
fault.
Yep.
What did I do?
What did you do?
I don't
You
understand.
released a demon on us.
Yes.
No, I
Although
fully
to be
agree with
fair-
him though. It's probably the first like actually good thing that we're doing.
Good
What?
thing.
Yeah, I mean we're going to kill the demon, right? So
Or be killed by it.
Yes.
It's still a good
Or
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be something's gonna happen.
Like
One
you
of the
say.
two.
You guys didn't even insight check the elf. We have nothing. Oh, I'm just gonna take this from him because he's obviously evil.
Oh, I wasn't even part of that conversation.
Yeah.
I just saw Fiend and I was
He's
like,
And
Sparkly.
he was he was probably using the demon in some sort of special travel, like the demon have teleportation thing they can do it with.
Yeah.
So there's probably something like
Yeah.
that he was using to.
he's a
Shortcut.
travel agent. The demon is a travel agent.
Oh, right.
I can book you your ticket.
Okay, this is going down. So have a great weekend.
Thanks for running.
I'll see-
Thanks for running this mess again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
You,
See you.
bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.